have a lot of musical goodies for you, and you will not be disappointed. But let's get back to our Satin Pillow Talk topic. We are talking about life transitions, and we're also tying it into the Pretty Girls Rock event that's going to take place in the Augusta, Georgia area. When we were off the air, we were discussing the Pretty Girls Rock Challenge that was put out on Facebook. What was about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I was inspired by your story, A-Marie. I had to share that with you. Off the air, I was about to just cry my eyes out because your life transition so far at this stage, I mean, it could have gone a whole different direction. Just a small part that happened when you were about 13. You didn't let that stop you. That was a transition in your life. You don't know why that happened, but it has gotten you to the point where you are now. Just share, if you would like to, you can share a little bit about, life transition and how that affects you mentally and emotionally, because we as females, we are emotional creatures.
We are. Right.
We were created that way. We're not hardcore and say, I'm going to beat you in the face. But, we're not like that. We're very sensitive and delicate creatures. And for something to happen as a life transition in our lives, it does affect us mentally and emotionally. So share a little bit about that.
Well, briefly, a little of the things that I shared in my testimony was that at the age of about 13, my parents split. Growing up in a two-parent home for the majority of my life, and then they split. So I went through, I think what typically most kids go through when, your parents divorce or separate. Is it my fault? Or things of that nature.
Yeah.
And then I kind of, because I saw my mother hurting and saw her cry for the first time, I grew resentment towards my father for a number of years. And I think my freshman year in college, once I went off to school, we were able to rekindle, our relationship as father and daughter, and we're still working on it. It's not perfect, but
of course,
I love him nonetheless. And then once I got to college, everything's great. I went to school at Johnson C. Smith in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to Johnson C. Smith.
But my sophomore year, some issues happened with campus housing, and I was left without anywhere to live.
Yeah.
And my mom was saying, "No, you're not gonna stay up there. You're just gonna come on home. We'll find you somewhere to go to school here, Payne College, I guess ASU. No disrespect to them, but I just didn't want to come home.
You was like, Mama, I'm sorry, no, Mama, I'm not hearing that.
Come home.
Not hearing that.
Not at all. So I ended up living at one of my best friend's houses. She's actually grown as my sister. We sung together in the choir, and we formed a group or whatever, but I ended up having to live with her for a semester without a car, but I didn't have to pay for no rent, nothing like that. Of course I helped with groceries and things of that nature,
right?
But overcoming that, I changed my major in school, still graduating on time. What else did I talk about? Oh, my grandmother. That's something that I'm kind of going through now.
Yeah.
My grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and growing up, having the split home, the majority of the time, if my mom was, she's a nurse, 12 hours or those long hours, I was at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
So
she was basically like your second mom, right?
Okay. And her being diagnosed with that, my fear became, what am I going to do when she no longer knows who I am?
Wow. Yeah.
Like, that's something that I've prayed about it, and I've asked God for strength, not only for me, but for my family, because my grandmother was like the rock of my family.
Right. Absolutely.
But that's something that I really, really struggled with. And I think that's something that I'm trying to overcome as of now. As well as when I graduated, I had my degree, but I had no job within my field. I graduated with communications, broadcasting, and journalism, but I had no job within my field. So I was feeling like a failure, like, okay, I got this degree, but I'm not doing anything with it.
Right. I mean, a lot of us feel like that, when things don't go our way, or like when we're put at a standstill, or if we're put in a hole, so to speak. It's just like, we give up on ourselves. But there's always that little thing called drive or self-motivation within ourselves that keeps us, keeps us going. And like I said, thank God that we have that within us, and you have that relationship with God too. That's a big piece.
That's the only thing that kept me going.
I'm telling you, and I'm just being real. I've experienced being detached with having a relationship with God. It's like you feeling it's like an empty feeling inside. You don't feel whole. And for those of you all who are listening, you know what that feeling is when you try to do something and you don't have God really solid in your life. It's like it's
chaos.
just like an engine that's trying to start and you can't go anywhere. But once you open the universe up, and once you open up yourself to God, you're starting to feel whole again. Your cup is now full. It's not half full, or it's not empty anymore. So that's what happened with you. You didn't let your cup get empty, and you didn't let your cup get half full.
It was hard.
Yeah.
But through it all, I think my faith in God, like, I'm not saying that was the first place I went, because of course, you have the resentment. You get upset and you, why me, and those things like that.
Absolutely.
But you can't forget that God is at the forefront of everything.
Absolutely. That's true.
Prayer changes things.
Yes.
I'm a living witness.
Yes.
I want to get into Ashley's testimony.
Yes. I'm serious. Yeah.
A small snippet of my testimony. Grew up in a single parent home.
Okay.
Not expected to go to college, but then within my last year of high school, had one of my counselors, Miss Rollins, who was very influential in my life. She pushed me to apply for some scholarships. And so essentially, I knew I wouldn't be able to pay for college, but I got scholarships for my undergrad and was actually paid to go to undergrad at the University of Georgia. And so,
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Yes. I like you already, girl.
And so that was a blessing right there. That even when when I'm wasn't able to provide, and my mom wasn't able to provide, God still had people around me who pushed us to apply for those things.
Yes.
And so then I graduated undergrad on a Saturday. Then I applied to Medical College of Georgia, which is now GRUJEHSU, for physician assistant program. So I graduated Saturday and started Monday. The next Monday. So from there, just been a push, and still, during that time, God surrounded me with the right people to open the doors up for me.
Yes.
So even though I didn't have the access, He knew those people who had and surrounded me with that. So that's basically a snippet of my testimony.
Wow.
That God will provide.
Yes, He will. I mean, just like with your story, you could have easily given up. But you didn't, and that's the most important thing that you didn't do with the life transition. I'm going to share just a little bit of my story, because I know we have maybe about 3 minutes until we go into our music commercial break. After I graduated from South Carolina State University in 2007, I had my degree in family consumer science. My major was, before that, elementary education. Had the hardest time trying to get an education, but took some advice, and I changed my major, and I graduated. After that, I really didn't know what to do with my life. And then, lo and behold, I had I had family members in education, and I had a church member of mine say, well, hey, why don't you apply for Richmond County position, teacher, that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. I wanted to do that anyway. So once I did that, I got into education. Loved it. Loved the kids, loved the parents, all that good stuff. Then maybe about my second year teaching, I was talking with a couple of my co-workers, and I was just like, well, I don't see myself doing this for 30 years. I couldn't understand why I was speaking that. I mean, even 2 years into me teaching, I taught for 5 years, I spoke something that I didn't know why I was saying it, but I couldn't see myself doing it for 30 years. Not saying I didn't like it, but I knew my life had more purpose than just being in being in a box. So, I went through that 5 years. I taught. After that, I was unable to teach anymore. I was unemployed. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm crying, depressed, and, I had a baby at the time, my daughter Chanel. She's 2 now. And I couldn't understand why I was going through all this. But now that I think about it, I spoke something in existence, 3 years prior to me being unemployed. And look where I am now. My purpose or my dream, my vision is to empower women and men to be better than what they are. That was my desire. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know when I was going to do it. That's what my desire was. So through my life transition of me being unemployed, me being oppressed, and going through some other things in my life, I'm here now on the airwaves. I got an opportunity to come here and just be a mouthpiece. So this is my ministry. Beauty Essentials is a ministry to be enlightening, inspiring, and empowering to everybody in the community. So I just thank God for that. And like I said, that's just a little snippet. That ain't the whole pie, so to speak. But through that transition, I continue to stay prayerful, talk with my parents about certain things, and they kept me encouraged and all that good stuff. So I just thank God for life transitions. It either make you or break you.
Yes.
And it's about a choice. So with that being said, I'm not going to hold you long because we got to go into a music break. This is Ebony Baskin with Best Friend. Hey, you talked about your best friend, right?
I did.
That's right. So this is a shout out to all the best friends in the
Hello.
CSRA.
Hey, best friend.
All right. So I hope you don't turn that down. This is Beauty Essentials with Crystal Williams, bringing you timeless beauty for your mind, body, and spirit. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
To call on him every time that I go through situations. He is always there. I can call him day or night. He will say it's alright, and I don't have to worry. Nobody will know. No, when we talk about how he helped me work it out, yeah, it reminds me of an old song that goes. What a friend we have in Jesus. Oh Lord, you are. Lord, you are my best friend. Lord, you are my best friend. Yeah, there's no limit to the things that he will show you. He inspires me, cares for me, loves me unconditionally. Oh, he won't change like the weather. He's the same now and will be forever. I wouldn't trade my best friend for anything, and yes, he will be there. Nevertheless, 'cause he's my best friend. My friend, yeah. Lord, you are my friend. Hey, it reminds me of an old song that goes.